All right, another map. We love our maps in planning. So this is a map that we've been using for about the last 5 years from some of our major projects. But before I even get to that, I just want to say that planning matters. Planning transforms, and it produces extraordinary results. And Old Town has been an example of that. If we had to have done all that planning 25 years ago, we would not be where we're at right now. We still got a long ways to go, but we have accomplished a lot. So with that, I think I'll turn it over to Mary Shell first. She's going to give you a real quick update on some of our multifamily projects here in Old Town.
So I'm just going to give a few highlights of some of the projects that we have coming to an end. So Main and Mill Lofts, they have officially completed both buildings, both Building A and B. So as a reminder, that's to 203 units with the retail on the ground floor at Main and Mill, and they are about 19% leased currently. Mill Old Town has also received their CO, and they are also complete. They are 55% leased, so we're really excited about that as well. And the Whitlow, they are still currently under construction. They recently opened their leasing office this month, and even before they opened their leasing office, they were at 5.5% leased. And lastly, the standard at Old Town, we kind of went over that earlier. That's one of our projects, the Affordable Housing PFC project that will start construction around this time next year.
And I got a few notable commercial projects I want to talk about. Number 11 on the map, the Deck on Main. Of course, it's a 3-story building with restaurant, retail, and office and event space. I've been watching it from my office window, so it's been so exciting watching that project go up, and it's slated for completion in September of this year, so we're excited about that. Number 12, Sullivan's Barbecue. Very excited to be working with them on an expansion. They need more room, and they are converting their parking area in front of their building along Mill to a covered patio area to accommodate more seating. So we are working with them on that. That will also be in conjunction with the city adding more reverse angle parking in that area too, which will provide more parking and also complete another segment of our complete street along Mill Street. Then right next door, number 20, a project called Foodsies. I know we have brought that to the council before. That'll be a 2-story mixed use. Ground floor is intended to be. We're working really hard to make that a very small grocery. We're going to have to start small.
You can't call it a grocery store. That's going to be a boutique.
We're going to get the best that we possibly can. So we're continuing to work with the developer. It is under staff review, and we're hoping they'll be submitting for a building permit here soon. And it'll have a for-sale condo. Actually, it's a 3-story building that'll be 2 levels of condos, a total of 4 condos on top of that, the retail. One other project that's not even on this map that I just have to mention I'm really excited about, and that's at 165 West Main. That was the former Alkies, the former Flying Pig. It is going to be our newest restaurant, and it will be called State 28. So we are very excited. Staff's working with them, going through Old Town design review for some of their signage and exterior improvements. So I know one thing. I've heard many people here in the last couple of months state that they've seen a very noticeable increase in foot traffic. I've seen it myself, just coming and going from City Hall. And so it's really good to see it all coming together. The growth is actually starting to happen. You notice all the little gold stars. Those are upcoming townhome and condo projects, owner occupied housing. That is something that was discussed at our last retreat, and we heard council loud and clear that to focus on getting as much diversity as we can. The multifamily is important, but having a mixture is going to make it even a better Old Town. These stars represent about 173 either townhome or condo units. 4 of them are small, like 5 or 6 unit projects. The one at the very bottom is 55 units. That's the Lake Haven project on South Charles. That's going through the zoning review right now. And then up at the very top along College and Mill, that's a project that was approved back in 18 but didn't happen. It's being revised, reworked, and we're hoping we're working with the developer to bring it back to you for a PD amendment for 84 condo units. So that would, again, be very, very exciting, a little bit different type of housing. So again, that's something that we think will really help continue making Old Town successful is the diversity of housing options.
Richard,
Yes.
I wanted to comment on that because you keep stealing my notes. How are you seeing my notes from over there? That's pretty impressive. But I did want to mention that I think it's important to point out that, yes, we have the visible residential, the highly visible residential has been the multifamily because they are very large developments in Old Town. And so I do think it's good to highlight some of the smaller projects that are, there really is a focus on not just one type of product, but multiple types of products, rental and ownership products. And all of that creates an Old Town where maybe we have enough people to get a grocery store down here, or maybe we have enough people to support more businesses down here. I agree. I've seen a lot more foot traffic as well. Ronnie obviously wrote down the same thing. So, yes, grocery store. Okay. So, and again, grocery stores have their models. And I know I've seen a lot of complaints about multifamily in Old Town. But if we want a grocery store, if we want to sustain the businesses that we not only have right now, these mom and pop support local business, but actually grow our local business base, we have to have people that live here because it can't be people just driving in. It has to be people living here. So I'm very, very excited about that. It's a game changer. Again, I walk my dog down here every day. I see a lot more foot traffic as well. One thing I will say is that what I would like one detail I think we need, the more foot traffic I've seen, unfortunately, there are some negative side effects of that as well. I'm seeing a lot more, I love seeing people walking dogs, don't love to see what they leave behind. And I love to see people out walking on the sidewalks and all of the things, but I hate to see cigarette butts everywhere. I don't know, some of that is human behavior that we can do our best to change. But, ultimately it's on them. I think one thing we can do is maybe provide more opportunities for them to have a trash receptacle, and we've done really great along Main Street. We've got them all the way down. I have my path mapped out for where I need to go because I know where the trash cans are. But once you kind of get past Main Street or around City Hall, you're kind of out of options for trash cans. So I would love to see us be able to expand where we're offering public trash cans to maybe help with some of that, and maybe some more doggy bag stations as well.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to second the trash cans because it's actually just happened to me. I went to at Sullivan's on Wednesday and I had a couple cups in my car. I parked in front of Sullivan. I walked the Perk, and I found myself juggling my bag and in cups looking for a trash can. I didn't hit a trash can until I actually hit Main Street. So that actually it's funny how that resonates exactly with me as well. So anything we do to try to make that, especially as we get more people down there, we're going to see more trash, more cigarette butts, more dog leavings. So an opportunity to fix that ahead of the game would be great.
It's good notes.
Yes, I just want to note too, the success of the Complete Street project at Main and Mill was a game changer. And so our plans are moving forward for College, ultimately, I believe, for Church Street. We really want to do all the streets, East Walters, Henrietta, the rest of Leonard, Harris Street, all the streets. I think Elm Street is coming here in just a few months. I think that's already gone to bid. So you'll see that street tore up for a while, but the finished product will be really nice. And I think those are the opportunities for us to include all of those amenities that are going to be needed for the increase in foot traffic.
Where are we on the arches?
So Stacy and I as team is, because we're doing the landscaping, we've got that as part of the project, and we're going to be coming back to you on the costs associated with that, because I think the costs were underrepresented of how much it's going to cost once we talk through that. Stacy, is there anything else you want to, that covers it? So we're going to have to talk about budget and what you want to do.
I just want to compliment you guys, because I remember a time when we had no parking garages, and we were saying, oh, that'll be about 10 or 12 years from now, and it was slow, and then boom, now we have a few parking garages now, and we are seeing, like I went to Denona on Wednesday, and it was packed. So I mean, we're starting to see the fruits of the efforts.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to pass that along, and great job. So I know we'll get the trash cans worked out. That's a great idea, and get Church Street up to par with Main Street at some point.
It's funny you mentioned the parking garages, because we beg developers to to do a wrap, a multifamily wrap project in Old Town, and none of them would do it because they said there's no comps. And so the city took matters in our own hands. Number 2, which was originally developed by Trinsic, which is now the station at Old Town. That was the spark that we needed. Once we bought that land and we picked the developer and got the project to kind of serve as the example, the developers started lining up, and they're still looking. We get so many developers looking at Old Town that have an interest. So right now the challenge is assemblage, but that will happen over time.
We do have new parking areas in the parking garages, but I don't know how many people know that. And I will say that gives us a little bit one up on Grapevine. Everybody says, well, we're going to be Grapevine. Why can't Louisville be Grapevine? Grapevine, you have to park 2 blocks off and walk. And people don't mind doing that. But you don't only have to walk here. I mean, there's ample places to park if you look for it. However, we have 2 parking garages now that we can utilize the bottom floors on. And under public engagement, I guess we'll just...
Well, we also have plans to install signs for public garages.
Just want to dogpile on all the success that's going on down here. When I first started driving to this side of town, 2004, we had just started the facade grant program. We were an innovator in that regard. Downtown was boarded up. I don't know what other people remember there, but we get back into that nostalgia conversation. Old Town was dead. And it wasn't going anywhere until City Hall got built down here. And so now we have this going on. And of course, one thing that we don't even talk about is the bookend on the other end, which is coming along, which is the DCTA light rail station and its mixed-use development, which we can see here in some of this. But that's going to be another linchpin to the development as we keep moving forward.
Very quickly, I'll just touch on some successes. The adoption of the Old Town TOD Master Plan update. The image is there in the upper left. Huge success. We get so much good feedback from developers. They all want to be down here, so that's ongoing. We've been coordinating with DCTA on their plans for their site. That's moving forward, very positive. We've adjusted the thoroughfare plan to reflect the new street grid that's reflected in the plan. And the infrastructure assessment has highlighted some deficiencies that we have with infrastructure, and that'll be discussed a little bit later during the capital projects presentations. Other updates, public wireless internet expansion is coming. Retail recruitment with Catalyst Commercial is ongoing. New solar lighting on the sidewalk around the Grand Theater will be installed, and the Old Town sound system will also be installed. Looking forward, I talked about Sullivan's Barbecue. 300 North Mill, this was was something was not on the radar. That's the image at the bottom left. That'll be a 13,000 square foot commercial building at the northeast corner of North Mill and Walter Street, where the portable offices used to be. So we're trading an eyesore for a really classy looking building. We're really excited about that. Staff's working with Spectrum about additional shared parking, so that's ongoing. The Poitras Plaza Turf was installed this week, so another plus. And the City Hall and Vic Landscape Improvement Project, that has been, bids are being evaluated. It'll be awarded in April and construction this summer.
And we just have a few more updates for you all. So we're going to consider the proactive rezoning of Old Town property on the east side near DCTA, continue efforts to attract new entertainment, restaurant, grocery uses. The Grand Theater courtyard improvements are moving forward as well. You'll see that the plans in the top left corner there, the Grand Theater home design, in which staff was given the direction to move forward with upgrades at the last retreat last year. Expansion of the Old Town sound system, as well as the Old Town pocket park design. You'll see that in the bottom left corner there. Old Town entryway features, that was touched on just a little bit here, as well as visioning planning for well house redevelopment. So for the well house, the NROs will move out in 2025 with the completion of Tittle McFadden. Staff is looking into the possibility of using the building as a primary or supplementary visitors information center. If the current visitor information center converts, then they'll need to find some lease space and decide what to do with the continuation of the history of the exhibit space. And also converting the use will also require that the hotel fund be made whole. And then the one thing I want to plug about the parking, going back to Main and Mill, that is 175 public parking spaces. And lastly, the Salvation Army redevelopment request for proposals. That's for the properties located at 206 West Main and 207 Elm. So the staff had issued an RFP back in January. We received responses by March 15th. And at this time, we'll ask that we go into executive session under Texas Government Code Section 551.087 regarding deliberations regarding economic development negotiations.
And Mayor, we can do that in the next conference room, so
We'll
the
just take
council
it.
will
So
move.
council, if we just go over to the next conference room, and Marichelle just took my job.
We wanted to make sure it was covered, Mayor.
Awesome job. Thank you for backstopping me.